the Veterans Day Parade, where the date is November 3rd. What's the time? We're starting that parade.
It starts at 10.
Starts at 10.
Yeah, so
And the assembly area is the same assembly area as before, the locations?
yes, sir.
All right. Any changes to the route? We're still gonna go from, what is it, right in front of that, bank?
Yeah, the old
Wells
Chase
Fargo,
Bank.
the old Chase, yeah, and then go right in front of like the intersection of Main Street, past that,
Past the main stage,
back main stage, bank a left at
like public CVS.
public CVS, and then go all the way down and all the way
The
around.
Main Street.
Okay, are we planning to invite mascots and bands?
Let's talk about
Let's talk about it. What do you have in mind? We had some
I
mascots
love the
last.
mascots last year.
They were nice.
Yeah.
And now one of them's a famous because we won the Stanley Cup.
It was our good luck.
Yeah. How much do those mascots cost?
Let's talk, because that's what it comes down to.
Usually nothing.
No, they cost.
No, they
Professional
definitely come out of.
The
The professional sports team.
Yeah. the
Oh,
professional-
for the.
Yeah, not those.
Yeah. Not the Chick-fil-A, the school one.
Then we get the discounted one. How about Obi? Orange Bowl?
That's gonna cost money too.
It's, I don't, it's all money.
Is that orange?
All right, how about, okay, while you're looking for that, now are we sending out invites to high school bands that we did last time?
So, here, we can work on sending. So staff can work on sending, like inviting them back, the ones from last year.
Okay,
So we can start that. However, I won't know, like, just to let you guys know, we've already published the sign up form online and we've already gotten a couple of signups.
okay. Now, we had to pay for transportation to one school last
Couple of-
time.
Yeah, the junior ROTC.
Yeah, so find out if there's a,
No,
American,
yeah, ROTC,
North
No,
Marine
no.
Senior,
yeah, it's, you see.
the one that Charles helps us with.
Either Edison or, no, I mean.
what was our budget? What did we spend last year for transportation for these folks, do you know?
You wouldn't.
Yeah,
I think they're-
I like to cap it at the same amount, maybe just 10% more.
It should be under a grand.
I have the budget here. So I'm sorry, back to the mascot.
Okay,
The
mascot.
Florida Panthers mascot cost us $500.
Wonder if we'll do it for $500 again.
I think
The
the
big-
Marlins one was free, I think.
Stanley Cup upcharge.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
And Miami Heat was about another 500 as well.
What's
So
my
Bernie-
Eats mask?
Bernie.
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 Yeah, very.
Can we get one for the hockey team?
That's the one we had last year, the Panthers.
Huh?
Oh, they're gonna be here this year too, right?
Well, that's what we're. that's what
Oh,
we're-
yeah, okay, I see.
It was 500 last year. I'm going off of last year's numbers. We don't know what this year's.
Yeah,
gonna be.
so, well, let's
Let's.
invite let's invite the Panther.
Because I've gotten in the past, when we used to do the events at the Coast Guard station for the veterans, the
Mhm.
meals. They never charge us. I got the transfers and all that. They
Well,
never
Well, the
charge.
Panthers are
that
now.
they won the Stanley.
Well, they also have a big veteran
Yeah,
push. I mean, they have their veteran of the game there every time.
Yeah.
The guy who owns them is a West Pointer.
Well,
I think it would be an honor for
76.
them to bring the Stanley Cup to the parade.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the
They're
charge for that.
cool. They're taking it all over the world.
Why not?
The players are going, I, everywhere.
All right, make a note, ask them to bring the cup.
okay, so
Nobody-
look, what I think a good way to get started, anyways, we can't make decisions right.
Give them
right?
give them a float.
No,
Have them make a float.
we can't make decisions, but so let's,
But let's talk about what you guys want, envision, I guess, for the event, we can start getting quotes. based
yeah,
on
let's
that.
get the Panther, the Marlins and Bernie. So let's ask for those guys.
And the Dolphins, no? That's the one we didn't get last time.
Yeah, was that the image of the? I have to request the tactical vehicle. I already did, but I gave him the wrong
Hold
date.
on, hold on, before you, let me see, Bernie and, so that's where we are with mascots, right?
Yes, and then bands. Let's figure out, so we're Panther and Marlin Fish and Bernie the thing.
Yeah.
It's a,
What is it?
I'm surprised the
We
Marlins
get
can't
to
send their whole
say
team. They're
The
pretty awesome.
mascots of Panthers,
Yes,
uh,
the Marlins fish
Marlins is Billy.
and
I mean,
Bernie the heat.
It's stressed to them,
Bernie.
it's the veterans, they parade,
And
the heat for the
Is,
veterans. And I
Bernie.
am the
Longest
veteran,
running.
Burn.
because they never charge us.
Oh, I get
We had
it.
them at the,
Heat, bird, I get it, yeah, okay. No,
we had them at the,
Oh,
that's very creative.
yeah.
I didn't realize you were.
They don't spell it like
I
that.
didn't reach out.
well, Jonathan asked me to
Like if I
Appreciate
go
that.
for the Star Wars, they go to their game.
Okay, and so-
ban,
For the band, find out who needs transportation. I mean, I wanna
Okay, you're
cap
talking about the high school band. just
the
not
high school
here.
band, exactly.
Okay.
One, I remember we had to pay for transportation for 1 or 2.
That was for the, junior ROTC.
Whoever that was, I'd like to be able to offer that again, but I wanna, maybe.
It was
just-
2 of them. Look, I have
Yeah.
them right here. It was Jackson and North Miami.
Yeah, so North Miami, there you go.
So I think we need to be able to just kind of like, raise,
That
what was
was
the
probably
cost, whatever the
So
cost
for
was.
North Miami was $390.
Uh-huh.
For
Right,
Miami Jackson was $360.
yeah, it was only 1,000, that's what I was.
So, yeah, let's budget,
Jackson,
basically 800.
Yeah.
So let's budget 800.
So
800,
400.
yeah.
We'll recommend 800 to the
Yeah.
main committee. And it's first come, first served, so
Before
Jackson,
moving on, somebody's taking notes of these
Yes.
sheets. Oh.
so 800 for
Yeah.
transportation for bands or junior rocks.
That's, Jackson.
So for Jackson, North Miami, 400 each.
All right, set up logistics.
Before we get to that, going back, last year, prior, when we all met in the morning, Peter, I coordinated with Vicky Bakery, they had pastries. And we brought in, coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes.
I think the coffee was a little over $100. And
I talked to Vicky, let's see what, see they again, was the same.
you're gonna check them again?
Sure, we can.
And what about the coffee in the morning?
I
That was pretty well received. A lot of people drank it around
I think we asked
the.
for 50 people, how many, curiosity? So we
think
asked.
it was like 50. Yeah,
Oh,
50's
50.
enough.
For 50s, it's the 5 of
That's
the
how much-
boxes.
5 boxes.
Because each box is for 10. But I think you can actually get like 2
His,
or 5.
his dad is a retired.
4
Because
boxes.
not everybody drinks a full cup
Oh,
either.
But he right.
Each, I forget what they call it, but the boxes
I
that,
know what you're talking about.
yeah, it brings 10. For 10 people.
I picked it up last year. I volunteered to do it again this year if you want.
The coffee?
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
guess the question is, how do we get you? Let's set $100 for coffee.
Okay.
I don't think that'll cover it.
That'll cover it?
You can be a little bit more than, it's about $30 a box, $28 a box.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, so if you get 5 boxes, that's 150.
Well, let's not.
Or
get
do you
5
guys
boxes.
want to maybe not,
4 boxes. 40 cups.
I think you guys can prioritize like certain expenses first, and then as we get closer and see how much we raise in sponsor
Yeah,
dollars,
exactly.
maybe then bring back certain things
Yeah.
that are,
So let's set aside the coffee, because everyone can bring their own coffee if they need.
I think it was well received, and I think that a lot of us appreciate even more than the parade, especially the people that are in it. The morning, drinking coffee, walking around, seeing all the people, talking to different.
No, I agree, but let's first deal with the other logistical issues that may be, more needed than just coffee. We can always figure that one out. Okay, so for setup logistics, are we gonna have, what's the family that always assists? us?
yeah, so they're actually, Kelvin and Omar told me they were gonna come today, however, they're stuck in traffic. So he says that he expects to be here by 6:30.
Okay.
And I did want to mention, I don't know if I've already talked about it with you guys, but, we already published the volunteer opportunities for the parade
Okay,
and for the 5K. And, we are having the students involved from now, like, we're gonna have the students come to the subcommittee meeting so that they're well informed as, how the event runs, and they have as much information as we do. And I think that would be a great help for morning
yes,
events. So obviously, students may not be able to make it to all meetings, but we're encouraging them to attend, and we're gonna be giving them hours for the meetings as well.
okay,
We got
that sounds good.
Walnut's,
And
National Honor Society.
Yeah, I already
Polo?
spoke to Ms. Soto about it. Yeah, so I'm planning
So
for
they're gonna
30
start coming to this
to
meeting.
the subcommittees related to either the parade or for the 5K, yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And we just published it.
When you say they're coming,
The students.
the whole group of students
No.
or
Yeah,
some
it's
student
gonna be new, some
representatives?
Will not be able to
Some
come to all
student
of them,
representatives.
but no, but it's the volunteers, the ones that are volunteering.
Hopefully they send representatives.
Well, that's
Right.
what I'm saying is I'm hoping they have some sort of an organization
Yeah,
where the organization gets represented at the committee and we don't have
like
50
Minnesota
students
has-
in here.
Minnesota
Well,
has-
the idea is actually for the students to hear it firsthand, so that when event day comes, we don't have to brief them, they already know everything, they know as much as you and I know.
Onboarding.
Yeah, there's no onboard, because what's happened in
Okay,
the,
because this venue may not be good for a meeting.
I get you,
Are you
We
talking,
may have to go-
are you talking of confirmation brief? Are you talking a confirmation brief? That's what we have. We have a confirmation brief after we develop a plan. And the confirmation brief basically says, here's what we're going to do, here are the tasks, here's everything.
Got it.
So that way they all have situational awareness. But are they gonna be here for the plan
no, we want
development?
them for the planning meetings.
You want them for the planning
Yeah.
meeting? Okay,
Okay,
Now, what I'm saying is all of them may not be available because they have
Right.
other activities. If we do see that we outgrow this room for the remainder of the subcommittee meetings, we can try to book
okay.
council chambers if
Yeah,
needed.
council.
and you know, and I mean, I would say that have them select representatives to come to the planning meeting. And then they all need to attend the confirmation meeting, once we
Yeah.
have a confirmation.
Or we can just start getting them involved towards the end meeting. You know, when we're just like,
Yeah.
tying up things.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
Yeah.
confirmation brief.
Well, I'm just saying because we did advertise it as that, so some of them may,
Well, that's fine. They can show up, you know, and
Okay.
if they have input and ideas, that's fantastic.
okay, so that's for the logistics. And then speaking of the Gonzalez family, I did give them a debrief. Well, when the parade was over last year, I sat down with them in this room right after the parade was over and we went over like things that they thought that we could do
Could be
better.
better.
I'm happy to go over the list now unless.
Go ahead.
Please.
Okay, so the American Legion should be placed behind the Jeeps. I guess they didn't like the area where they were at last year. To keep Barbara Goldman before the Jeeps. To add water stations along the route, maybe add 2 after the main stage area. Add water stations where the kids performance band are being corralled prior to the parade start. I don't know if you guys remember last year, but we had one student that almost passed out.
Yeah.
It's really hot and they're waiting as of really early there, so
Right.
we're gonna have to get more water. Start counting last year's participants, 3 months out, so we're around that time frame now. And we need to know if the groups are gonna be using vehicles in advance. I believe Duncan took care of that. The sign-up form now specifically asks you if you're gonna be using a vehicle. As you guys know, that's an issue because if they're using a vehicle, they should not be trying to get into that area. Let's see. We need to let the groups know that they need to come prepared with some sort of banner or uniform that identifies them. And we do need to have a better communication with the Jeep pull-up group, letting them know that they should keep certain amount of space between one another when they're going down the parade. I think they were either too close or too separated, like it wasn't a confident, it wasn't the same gap all around.
And besides our float, the Legion float, the Graham company, they're gonna have a float.
Well, I don't know that yet.
Oh, I know that.
Okay,
Yeah, I was with Andrea yesterday. Yeah, since last year, she talked to me, she said,
What's gonna be on their
That's
float?
great.
because they were,
What's gonna be on their float?
their staff, their employees, and
Oh, that's nice.
it'd be nice, I want to suggest to her, maybe she put a cow in the middle.
Could we reach out? If I may, you know, I think that's great. And they're doing that because you reached out and told them about it. They saw us with a float. How
No,
could-
I didn't. She reached out to me. She said she
Well,
wanted
my,
to know.
my question is, how could we get more companies or?
That was my idea when I went to the chamber luncheon yesterday. And I'm fishing that out to them. I said, believe you work, play here. I mean, this would be greatest pride in your town, you know, pride in your company,
Right.
your business that is advertised, what better ways.
Right.
That's what I talked about.
So how they, any response?
So I don't know. So today, maybe tonight, I'm gonna send to Rosie the date, the time, the contact information for the float people. They did not raise the price, again, the same price as past 3 year, it's 2,500. Fred already committed to ours. For sponsors. Uh, And for Rosie, the secretary to the chamber, to send out to all the members,
She called me.
here's the answer.
All right.
She called, okay,
Let's get, since we got time, we got a time hack, we gotta be out here by what time? 7 o'clock, so let's move on.
Okay,
The water stations, what's the concept on the water stations? Bottled water, or what, or
Yeah.
should we tell them to bring water?
we should, but I mean, they're kids and they're standing under the sun for a couple of hours.
oh, yeah,
There's, I mean, that's a lot of water.
Headquarters Toyota gave.
Yeah, headquarters.
Yeah, but headquarters Toyota gave us water for along the route. Now we're talking about adding water to the corral area. So
Yeah.
that means,
That's
A lot more
hundreds
water.
and
yeah,
hundreds of
the
bottles.
small bottles are the best.
yeah, so that's just, it's a budget.
Get more.
And it's also the logistics of cleaning up all the bottles.
Well, I will say, I'll remind you guys, we do have janitorial litter removal that we do,
Right,
like
There
before
was-
for this event, because there's no other way around it. We need to clean
What's-
up the
how about the
area.
search group like we've done before, they set up.
They help with giving out the waters.
Right,
What about getting the Barbara Goldman, volunteers to follow up to the parade afterwards and clean up the streets and everything? They can get the community.
no, that's,
No.
they're already,
That's an
like she
SFM,
said, yeah.
We can't
Cute.
do it.
and because they're volunteers, we need to make sure we can't rely on volunteers to clean up
No.
Graham property. 'Cause
They
then
know
we're
where
never
to
gonna
pick it
use
up,
that
where to
property.
put it.
Yeah.
No, those are the SFM, right?
But I can start reaching out to CERT now that you brought it up.
Yeah.
We need to confirm more stop signs, and we're going to need some of the volunteers to be briefed on how to do do the parade gap coordination.
All right.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
How there was too many spaces.
The timing, the
So-
spacing,
so
the
that-
spacing, yeah.
That's something we gotta work out. We wanna use cardstock the size of letter paper and put it on the windshield of the Jeep so they know the number they were given for the parade.
all right,
Does that make sense?
yes.
We got it all.
And we're gonna do, we need a volunteer to duplicate his efforts. And by that I mean, there's a volunteer that needs to stand in the similar area to where he's at the start of the parade to call out the numbers and guide the groups out of the parking. Last year, it was both of us, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so, and the reason that this is important is because he may be calling them out of the parking lot, but you have to remember that then they have to unite in number with the ones that are lined up down 67. That makes sense? So we just need somebody to know to do the same thing that Calvin does. We're gonna start promoting that the group sign up for the parade, as we mentioned, and we are in agreement that the registration needs to close.
Do you need like an adult to volunteer for that? Do you need?
Yeah, I
somebody
think
from
because
the
we're
committee?
dealing with big like trucks.
All right.
Yeah, registration gets a little
Yeah.
hectic.
Unfortunately, I will not be here this year, so I can't do
Anybody
that.
was a former roadmaster,
Yeah.
order T guy?
And Jonathan is
Yeah.
gonna be doing photo,
Yes.
He'd be
So-
shooting.
so he can't do that either.
I will also be.
Registration needs to close 2 weeks before the event. I know in the.
Hey, Gary, let's ask for a volunteer from the Legion, see if anybody can help Kevin out. Calvin.
Well, whoever's doing that can't be in the parade. I'm just mentioning, because I know you guys have a float, right?
Right,
On the
Because
2
the
weeks
float will
registration,
live without them.
that we have to set up.
on the 2 weeks registration,
Nancy
yes,
usually do it.
there's always the groups that come
I
up
wanna
last
let
minute.
Nancy do that.
And what we did, we let them in, but they have to go to the back.
Someone-
right?
Obviously.
The same thing that hasn't changed.
They don't wanna go and show the other guys, they want, they're rather walking and like.
Yeah, so I mean,
Other committee members from other committees to see if they're willing to do it.
yeah, we can do that. All right.
Does somebody want to be designated to talk to a committee member? or something?
Sure, I thought.
All right, so moving right along. What
To
else?
confirm Kelvin's helper, we're gonna call. him.
So Pedro's gonna talk.
Stop signs, Steve, how many stop signs are we talking about? Because I know last year I lent mine.
Yeah, no, we need to just purchase them as town, like, for events,
Because I lend, I have some,
because we didn't plan for that.
for work, but I have to
No,
get
yeah.
it that way, we don't have
We
to
need
buy.
to just purchase them.
And cheap,
Registration, as I was mentioning,
but
was,
make sure we get the right ones.
we
don't want
need,
the heavy ones.
we need to close registration 2 weeks before the event. I know we've waited till last minute for this, we cannot wait till last minute. If whoever didn't sign up 2 weeks out, I mean, we're promoting it with 3 months. Whoever didn't sign up 2 weeks out needs to wait till parade day. When they show up, they will be lined up, and that means you're going to the back. We cannot make exceptions. I think we've been in agreement about this.
Yeah,
We can't be
yeah,
making exceptions.
yeah, that's the,
But the only difference is that we're closing it 2 weeks out. Before,
Okay.
we've done it like a few days before, and it's too much.
all right.
I wanna know if at the Grand Marshal ceremony, do we need to have honor guard and national anthem?
It would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of had it weird last time.
Cause we didn't talk about it, so I think we.
I
have
made an
made-
assumption. and I
Yeah,
think,
we
Cause the last time when Bill did it, we had that.
You know, one
And
thing,
so I assumed that's the way it was, and then this next year, it wasn't that way at all.
I can ask them from now if that's the case, that's why I wanna know. from
Yeah, I
you.
wanna do that, cause having it at the beginning of the ceremony when no one's around to see it is kind of not useful.
last year, no one showed up at the end. I mean, there were very few people.
That.
And I think we need somehow to promote that we're having this Grand Marshal presentation at the end, so that we get some audience there, because nobody showed up last
Yeah,
year.
when they turn around here, the bands that they run, they just
Yeah,
They
exactly.
disappeared, so.
off to the races. They leave.
Yeah, it'd be nice that we,
So
looking at
yes
like-
to the honor guard and yes to the
To the
national
fencing.
anthem.
how could we do that?
Yes.
But that's also in addition to the, cause they usually open up the parade, right? They start the parade.
You mean,
The honor guard and national anthem is what starts the parade.
that's kind of a
Yeah.
strange thing to start. Right, right, so we're-
Yes.
the honor guard.
So I guess that's the question. Are we
Yeah.
doing it in both spots or are we doing it in one spot?
Usually both at the opening and then at the ceremony.
So both in both places.
Yes.
I would say so.
I'm getting
No, well,
mixed.
I mean, because most parades do not start with the national anthem, they just parade starts. I mean,
But do they start with
Yeah.
honor guard? I guess that's it.
Well, the color guard.
the color guard
Okay.
march.
Color guard should march to near or at the front of the parade.
That's it,
correct.
so they would start the parade.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
You have
You
a
don't
fire
have,
and
you don't have the
put
colors,
arena,
you don't
yeah.
have the national anthem ceremony.
That would be-
You don't
that would
normally
be-
have the
yeah.
national anthem at the start of a parade,
No,
Okay.
but you
We've
do have
done
the
it,
color
but let
guard.
me know.
Yeah.
no, you've done
They
it,
leave.
it was wrong.
That would be, at the end.
That's why we're
That-
talking
yeah,
about it.
that should be a ceremony at the end, where like Bill would introduce it.
Exactly, and then you
Normal,
rise
yeah.
for the presentation of colors and
So,
stuff like
Let's go
that.
back to the main stage starting. Color guard, yes.
Yes, the color guard always leads the
To start the
parade,
parade.
Yeah.
But no national anthem at the
No,
start of the parade.
no
then
pledge of
at the Grand
allegiance,
March-
nothing.
And then at the Grand Marshal ceremony.
That's when we have the
That's
national
right.
anthem.
You
and
should have the
and
color
marching
guard
of the
present
colors.
the colors.
Well,
Yes,
And the national anthem.
thank you for clarifying that. This, so. For Grand Marshal ceremony.
I love a parade.
You were the best Grand Marshal. You were the best talker. I mean, you did the best.
Yep.
You did. Absolutely. In my years coming to the parade, you
well,
did.
I like your video.
The video,
What your son did?
the video my son did was.
Mike Coot agreed to be nominated this year if we elect him.
Did he? Has he done it before?
No,
No, last year he was going to do it, then he changed his mind. So this year I told him you can't let people down. He goes, well.
Okay,
So-
that'll be perfect. Now we have somebody. Good.
But then do we need to put out, a call for Grand Marshal? Because why are we putting out a call if you guys already are?
Because it's only right, because there might be someone else that would also want to be Grand Marshal. And you don't even know, Mike changed his mind last year at the last minute.
Yep.
Hopefully he won't this year, but I think it's a good idea to go ahead
We put a
and
call,
put it out there.
as many as we can, and
Yeah, and if we get somebody this year.
Well,
maybe next year.
not only that, but we become aware of other people that in the future we may want to, bring forward for other activities and things like that.
Agreed.
Memorial Day ceremony for 9/11,
I would like to be able to grab some folks from the American Legion. We have a bunch of veterans there that could be Grand Marshal.
one, but he's holding because his wife is not doing well.
All
He said, I don't want to commit. I said, yeah.
right, so I mean, we can ask our next meeting for the American Legion. We'll put it on the
So,
agenda.
yeah, let's reach out top and we did. I know there's a retired colonel in Satori. She used to be like son-in-law's boss. She was the head of the Winsett Academy in Fort Benning,
All right,
now Fort Liberty.
okay, so
now Fort Liberty is.
now we have.
Fort Bragg, I'm sorry.
So the Grand Marshal, the speech in the event, are we gonna have food afterwards for the veterans like we usually do? And we usually pay for that, don't we? Like we have volunteers.
No.
We pay for everything, but just remember that some of the things are offset with the sponsors.
What's the name of that barbecue? The
Mission.
Mission Barbecue.
Mission Barbecue really gave us great deals in
I know, but now they're changing a
They're
lot.
expensive.
Oh, and ooh,
They're expensive now.
Yeah, they're
they used to
They've
give
got
you
expensive.
50% off.
Everything's.
They now
expensive. Grocery store.
85%, the last time they told me, I only can give you 15%.
So who gives us a good deal?
Oh, you guys have to shop around.
Yeah, shop around, would you pay to?
Sure.
Mission-
But
I
if
mean,
you
we're gonna-
really
For
wanna
it,
keep
see who gives us
barbecue
a
food,
I
discount.
think we should give Mission. the
How many
opportunity.
meals?
How many, I mean,
Unless we can find somebody here in Miami.
lakes, yeah, Miami
We
Lakes.
did that
Yeah,
before.
they do it. Well, this guy,
At a restaurant.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Dr. Limon is really, I just want to him today, I give him every month, so he's very.
Who's that?
Yeah,
Well,
Dr. Limon.
that's mainly seafood, though.
It's,
Yeah, not
that's the
everything.
question,
No,
what
not
type
food.
of food?
That's Peruvian, that's
The
Peruvian.
guy that brought they give us the Memorial Day, the food.
Yeah, but they're
No, that
looking
was
for
the
barbecue
Vitrola.
food,
Maybe
right?
Trola, yeah, well, he owns maybe Trola.
Yeah,
Dr.
same owner,
Limon,
it's the same
Oh,
owner.
okay, yeah, it's three of them.
Well, that's right, yeah, yeah, it's other places too.
Yeah, he owns three.
Yeah, but no.
Cruzeiro.
He's selling me.
Cruzeiro, and-
Remember,
He gave us that.
we'll
He
pay
gives us
for
a
it,
donation.
just see what kind of discount. you
No, I just talked today, he gave me for the,
Rufino.
for the next bingo, he already gave me a price, he took down
Rufino, we'll talk to Rufino.
$700.
Okay,
We'll talk to Rufino.
ask,
Yeah, I
ask,
talked to
ask him, okay,
So
good.
we're not doing barbecue. You guys are not married.
We're not
to
gonna do
barbecue.
mission
I
mark.
wanna check a few places, but this seems like to be a good.
This way he brought it in individual and it's nice. Give it to the-
Yeah, and also I wanna support Miami Lakes businesses, Mission Mark is not Miami Lakes.
We didn't have enough food at the,
I know,
No,
he brought 54.
yeah, we
But I
had
asked him for-
150
So
people.
here's what Mission Barbecue
just a-
did.
Yeah, but some people.
That was early.
let's
That
go
was
to
early.
Lyle for a second.
Gentlemen,
Sorry,
we got to be out of here by 7,
Right,
so focus.
correct.
Just so you guys are aware, Mission Barbecue last year, we paid for 100 meals and they gave us 45 free. So
They show back
that
to
was
you
the
last
discount.
year?
That's like 50% off.
That's not bad.
Well, let's ask them again, see who does the better.
That's why I say we should check. a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
different options.
Options.
Yeah, so Pedro, please
How
ask
many meals?
permission.
How many meals?
So they did 200 last time, so let's do 200 again.
No, that's one.
No, they did
No.
145.
145.
So it was 145 meals, so we
Well,
had,
Was that
Yeah.
enough food? Was there any left?
but I
over?
think we had left over.
We had so much left.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lot left over.
150 is very good. Still out.
Well, I
Yeah,
expect,
120?
we expect a better turnout this year too. so-
Yeah, let's do
No, so
150.
it's 100.
150.
Eh? How many? 150?
Yeah.
Yeah, 150.
We'll pay for 150 and whatever they give us.
Okay. He'll give you.
Because you know, I mean, because a lot of veterans will leave with extra food. So
So I'm gonna
Alright.
put down Veterans Committee is gonna work on proposals, right, for the food?
yes. Pedro has it for action.
I talked to him.
Okay, we need to determine a backup for the Jeep. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year they promised a certain amount and they actually came in short.
Fred handled that,
Fred is the one.
Yeah, but that was on the spot, so I wanna get ahead of it. He kind of just volunteered his car and like that's, I want us to have a backup. in
I think we
case.
should talk to Fred. He's got good inventory this year and he'll probably do it.
Yeah.
So I think that would, he'll.
Are you gonna talk to Fred, Larry?
Right?
You gonna talk to Fred then?
I'll talk to him.
Fred's a good friend of them. So,
You know, another option is, we do have, I like golf carts. Who was that? Remember that brought her golf cart? I go, boy,
Yeah.
that would be,
The calf.
Golf cart.
Oh, no,
if we use golf carts instead of Jeeps. But first of all, because when you're in the golf cart, everybody can see you. Or if you're in a Jeep, no one knows who the heck it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, you.
it's true.
It's a good point.
Yeah, they only know because of the.
Yeah.
Well,
Is it ready?
trucks
like
are-
a-
trucks are in the
It
back.
looked like a tactical golf cart.
Yeah, it was a really cool golf cart.
Terrible driver.
Why don't we do both? Why don't we see if open pickup trucks are good, because they're in the back.
Nah, we're not gonna have.
No.
Council member and stuff standing in the back of a pickup truck.
No, that's,
Who do we get golf carts from?
That's what I'm asking.
So golf carts, this is at a cost, can be rented, but now how are you gonna get them free is a different story.
Well, then you gotta get them delivered, you gotta get them lined.
Well, yeah, there's vendors that do that, they just rent them out, they'll deliver,
if you're gonna go Fred, ask him. Maybe Fred.
Oh, really? Okay, so
but
so we,
it's at a cost.
well, let's find out. I mean, the Jeep is free.
Well, sort of in the same vein that the Jeeps were provided, in kind by the owners. I don't know if that's really.
Yeah. It's the same.
That was different. That's because we
No, I
got the Jeeps by the owners because
No, I know, but in the same,
we wouldn't do that
in
again.
the same
you have a
vein.
driver and
No.
five.
Huh?
they're doing it.
What do you?
No,
mean?
it's
What
not
if it's
fair.
golf carts is my point.
You get to beat a golf.
Because I know they're,
You can
this group in town set up their own golf cart parade. I'm wondering if there's any way for us to say, hey, you and your team, could we, your team, you and your fellow
Residents to
golf
volunteer.
carters.
Who set that up?
I actually wanna say Mario Pinero,
Yeah, something like that.
some sort of golf cart.
But then you're
holiday
asking the
parade.
person, hey, can you drive
That's
our committees around? And you can't like come with your family, right? It's just, you're just acting as a chauffeur to your golfer while you carry other people around. I don't know how that's.
Well, that's
gonna
what the
work.
Jeep Club does. I mean,
Yeah,
we-
but those aren't residents of my area.
you know, we can always ask,
That was a one-time
we can
thing.
always say no.
That was a
No, it
one-time
wasn't.
thing.
They've been a part of it for the last.
Well, they've been in the
years.
parade, but as far as driving people around, it was a one-time thing because you couldn't get the cars from Fred.
No, they've only been in the parade to drive people around.
Right.
Okay, so there's two options. One, we figure out the cost to rent these things.
Hmm.
So let's look at that. Let's look at that one. Option one is renting the golf carts. And then option two, get with Mario Panero. I'll get with Mario.
Okay, I'll look at the, I can get you guys pricing for.
Get with Mario Panero and see if I can get
I'll bring you the
a
prices for.
this
well,
gang
schedule.
of golf carters.
I had the deal already for next week.
The other, I will say, speaking of renting the golf carts that come out of cost, what you guys can also do, I know this isn't how it has been done historically, but you can also have the committee say, hey, if you want a golf cart, like, you guys need to fund it from your committee.
Hey, that's an idea, if you were doing Mario and just invite the golf carters to be in the parade. And if they would also like to carry, it'd be fun just to have, that'd be a nice addition to the parade, the golf carts. They could
Well,
decorate them, that'd be a great idea,
Yeah.
whether they drive people or not, stop in the parade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
decorate golf carts.
Yeah, that's when that,
Then the only thing you have
Either
to
way.
worry about is the signage.
yeah, but they already have the signage. You know.
Where you
Well,
gonna
no, we
put it on the golf
have
cart.
to reproduce it every year because we have sponsored logos on
Okay,
it.
And where
Okay,
you
so
gonna-
I'm gonna look into the pricing for renting the golf cart and you're
and
gonna.
I'll
talk
reach out to
Mario.
Mario.
One way or the other, just having a parade is a great
It's not
idea.
gonna stick to the golf cart.
All right.
What's that?
Signage is not gonna stick to the golf cart.
No, we'd have to look for other ways to brand them.
Is there any way, it's just a shame, we used to have all those antique military vehicles out there, that was great. And then all of a sudden, the insurance dealers came up and they didn't let them in the parade.
Well, we didn't not let them in the parade. They didn't wanna sign the waiver. And if the attorney says that the waiver needs to be signed.
Something was wrong with that, because that waiver they should have signed, there's no, wonder what, if there's something we could do about that.
Yeah. Ask them to sign and they say no.
Yeah.
We're asking for a tactical vehicle from, the Reserve Center. So we had one last month. Maybe they'll give us two. Who knows?
Does the town have any pickup trucks and trailers?
Well,
So,
No, I know we talked about it, but we have like one.
where I live in Plantation, it's the whole city, all their pickup trucks and the trailers are all
No,
reflows.
they're only a couple.
And we have
yeah, it's the men's
Yeah.
department. And they're not pretty.
Public Works.
Everybody in that one.
Public Works.
Okay, I know I've been talking to Omar and Kelvin, we're gonna be purchasing feather flags. I know we had one last year for registration. This year, we're gonna purchase different colored ones to break up the groups in the corral. Cause you know, it's like 5 different number of sections. We wanna differentiate them so that when the group comes to check in, we give them a number, which is their lineup in the parade. Hey, you're 39 and 39 with a yellow index card, so you're going to the yellow section.
All right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have everybody 6 on. Also,
We had
we're
those long
talking about
poles
the
with the
assembly
sections
area.
last year, there's flags,
We're gonna do
Mhm.
feather flags so you can see them from above.
yeah.
So while we're talking about the assembly area, we're gonna need more porta johns than we had last time.
Okay.
There was a line, there was quite a line,
I'm handicapped.
and if we get better quality porta johns,
Yeah.
that'll be
Porta
nice.
potty, yeah.
Because, we're basically have construction level porta johns, and I've seen some
Oh,
pretty high
Oh,
end.
there's nice ones
I've seen
at a
some
very
pretty
high
high end.
cost. No, there is.
Yeah,
No, they have air conditioning and
they don't stay.
they don't smell,
The big truck.
so,
But that's,
yeah, if we definitely need more than just one or
Six,
two,
yeah.
we probably need about 3, probably need about 6. 3 in front, 3 in the back.
You could probably use less of them if we cut down on the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
sounds good.
even the sponges.
Whatever Taco Bell.
Are there any other issues that you want to go through?
Yeah, is there a way, we wanna make sure that each group, I guess we're gonna, we were wondering if there was a way that each group that participates can appoint a head person that will then hand their name index card to a volunteer who is near the stage so that their name can be called out. If you guys don't remember, it's an issue because sometimes people cut So we can't have like a real time list of who's actually coming up next.
Charles
Charles
handled
is pretty great.
it
yes,
last year. He
because-
had somebody down there with the microphone. And he called Charles up and told him who was coming up next, and he announced them as they came.
Do the groups, when they check into the assembly areas, do they check in with one central person, one person? Is that-
Normally,
Is that where they go up where Nancy is and stuff like that?
yeah, that's where they check in.
Okay, so I guess what we have to do is we have to add a process where we inform them that one person has to be the one.
To hand off their
Yes,
name part
yes.
to the person near the.
So we need
Near
to,
the
well,
main stage.
what we need to do is we need to develop a set of instructions for the people checking them in. That you want them to know, so please, if one of you guys can type it up,
Mhm.
a set of instructions, because Nancy is gonna need written instructions, Chad, whoever comes up to volunteer, we're
Yeah.
briefing them right there on the spot.
Yeah.
So we need a set of instructions as to what
Yeah,
they're supposed
but
to.
I want you guys to understand, and we're happy to type it up, but the idea is I am with Barbara Goldman's National Honor Society.
Yes.
I am the head person.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna write my name. I need to hand it to the person who has a staff shirt near the main stage. So that my name could be read out loud. There has to be a runner to Charles. Make sense?
Charles coordinated that, and he does it every year very well.
So
He
we
does
need,
it off of memory because he's done it so long that he.
No,
knows
he
the
had
words.
someone down there, we had a problem, because there was a
It
problem.
didn't end
with
up working
walkie-talkies.
out.
did we have a runner? Is that the problem? We didn't have a
But
runner?
now we're gonna have volunteers, so.
Okay,
The
so we have a
runner-
So
runner,
then we're gonna be briefed in advance.
okay, and now we have instructions for the people that check in. Is there any gap in our plan? I mean, besides, Murphy's Law? So if we have a check-in and they're telling them one person and they have to hand it to the runner. And then the runner takes it down, will we have the runners there at the check-in so they know who the
Yeah,
runners are?
yeah.
Okay,
And we're gonna have shirts that
That says
identify like
runner?
event staff
all
for
right,
this year. And really, we're gonna make them understand, if you do not pass on your index card, your name may not be called,
And
because
that's
we
it.
can't guess.
that's right, that's right.
Don't you have to do that twice?
Hmm?
Don't you have to do that twice, one for showers and one for Piggy?
At the end.
At the end?
Oh, yes, good
Mhm.
point.
2 cards.
So, yeah, Kiki is the one that helps us at the end, calling
Yeah,
them
no.
out again. So yes, it would be twice.
Yes.
Okay,
So yes,
So-
we need to give them two, good
Okay.
point.
2 cards,
Yeah, so 2 cards, let me write that down, 2 cards.
You're saying a runner within
One
each
for fun.
organization that would run up in advance to let them know, is that? what-
Mm.
They just have to hand the card,
Don't you have a bullhorn? You have a bullhorn.
There's one here.
Yeah, you call.
one for main stage and one for the. finals.
Come on.
I think they
They
have
don't
They
radio.
don't listen to it anyway sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they use radio. so-
Yeah.
They used radios like, 2 years ago,
Yeah.
it was like provided the radios.
Can we get some flyers printed, maybe 100 or so? I can,
I
I
think
know I
Charles
can
got
drop
a
them
good
off
hand
at
on
the
this.
school.
Let
public.
take a lead on it.
I'll go to the other schools nearby, Spanish Lakes.
To advertise the parade.
Yeah, we always go through intergovernmental anyways, town staff has to go through intergovernmental to get any message across to the public schools. We'll do that, and yeah, we're happy to print flyers for you guys.
I even.
The
paste them
banner
on
we
the-
did
on
that
the
year.
light poles.
Remember the year we did the banner out there? That was a good turnout that year.
That's it.
That's really it for my.
No,
brief.
remember, we
All
talked
right.
about
Do
that.
you have,
The banner.
Yeah,
you have
put it
the
across
electric-
67.
Any other issues,
Yeah.
gentlemen?
you have the little trailer that has the electric sign that says
Yeah, they usually.
67 will
put
be
that
closed for parade.
By the palmetto.
The marquee, yeah,
Yeah,
you wanna start telling people in advance? you
That's
know?
how I find out about the parades in my town.
Oh, yes, to advertise the event, yes, we can
yeah,
do
they
that.
usually.
Yeah, because they just telling you that the street's gonna be closed, but they telling you why.
Yeah,
Yeah, one
And when
time.
they
we
tell you
talked-
why, it's like, yeah, I didn't know
Yeah,
there was
we
a
know
parade
really
in 2
just put it
days.
like Veterans Day Parade and we'll put the date, we can do that.
yeah, street closure signs people pay attention to and tell them why, that's a great idea.
So yeah, I have here, start making residents aware of road closures, which Jonathan will promote throughout social media. But if you guys wanna get together a week before and start like putting them out in the cars here, like just a paper notice, I think it's better to over communicate than to not.
Okay. So, all right, let's go over the specified tasks that we have. Pedro, you're gonna contact the food person to
Yes.
see for 150.
150. Yes.
I'm gonna talk to Mario Pinero about the electric golf carts.
Is Pedro also going to?
Kyle's gonna contact,
Go back to Pedro for a minute? Are
Yeah,
you
you're gonna
con-
contact Vicky too.
Biggie Bakery for the
Vicky
pastries,
Bakery.
and the other, and Mission, you want to contact? Mission?
Yeah, Mission too.
see what they
But
offer.
I wanna talk to the people because I think it's too big.
You're taking care of the
Well,
traffic vehicles.
So You're,
Yeah.
you're doing all that, thing. You've got.
I'm doing it now.
And so, and then going back to me.
So you- Has it been good for you lately?
I'll reach Marno Pinero.
Pero en serio.
Kyle, you're gonna reach out to
Tienen
see what
mucho
golf
problema
carts
con
cost to
la
rent.
Yes.
comida. No tenemos
Um,
dinero, si no fuera Raúl, que era mal que-
we're gonna give written instructions for those doing the check-in as to what's,
Todo es el efecto, mira, hay que algo, o-
you know, what the person needs to do in order to get themselves announced.
Frío y malo.
Sorry, what?
The index cards are runners.
You just
Okay.
start, you know, we need instructions for check-in. You're gonna reach out to see how much the Panther and the fish
Yes.
and the Bernie thing
Yeah,
cost.
the 4 of them.
We're going to approve transportation for 2 bands or whoever.
For 400 each.
Yeah, the watering stations, we're gonna need more granularity
It's-
as to what that means.
It's not a commercial parade, it's a Veterans Day
Yeah.
parade, it's for the veterans.
So-
Hosted by the veterans, you know.
I'm sorry, I don't. Hold on.
I mean, the watering stations, exactly how much water we'll be talking about, you know, for the water. I mean, we're
How
talking
many
bottles.
people did you estimate per group, per section? Cause that's what we wanted to do, water.
The
stations.
sections are
Hundreds.
different.
Yeah. We need a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
We're
I mean,
looking at
that's
about
pallets of water.
section 1, section 2 is 20 each, section
What
3
did we use last year?
So
about
let's say
25.
averaging
nothing.
20
20
per,
each.
let's say 20 per, and each group has,
The ones that have kids have a lot.
What did we use last year? Do you know?
we didn't,
We didn't have water.
we
Not
didn't
enough.
have water.
Yeah.
If we had a plan from last year, I would say, let's just execute that plan.
But didn't, I thought that, headquarters Toyota,
They did, but that was to go along the route. We're talking about, so that means from the moment they arrive, like at 7 till 10, those kids did not have water provided to them by us. And they're standing waiting there.
you know, I remember that.
Or maybe just ship those water and do
The
nothing
water
on the
did, the
route. but I
water
don't think
did
that's a good
come,
idea either.
because it came late. I remember that. I was there. The, headquarter Toyota brought water in. They brought in a bunch of cases of water in a cooler to the assembly area, but it was later.
But exactly, it was like a last minute, oh,
last
okay,
minute,
we're not, we
last
didn't
minute.
make it through.
So the main thing was they needed to be there earlier.
Yeah,
That-
yeah, so
that
that's
was
what we
the
need.
Year before, they had a water drop there at the staging area, and then they had another one
And
down here.
then,
down
So
here
we
when you-
still plan on
on Bay
doing
Court.
that.
Yeah.
That doesn't change. The extra is the water at the corral station. Where the staging area,
So we need like 1,000 bottles of water,
we need a lot.
Yes.
about 1,000 bottles of water. So see if headquarters Toyota could fill that request.
I guess if she could double what they,
You usually give us about 200. I don't know if they have 1,000 bottles of water.
or I guess after what they can get, right?
Yeah,
And then we'll go
exactly.
from
But
there.
that's cheap, those little bottles that they give.
And it's small
70,
one,
80
small one is also
or
expensive. It's-
nothing. It's Pack of 70 or 80.
And they write off because it's advertising, it's got their.
Yeah, it has their logo.
Yeah, we give them in-kind value for that, like we honor them as a sponsor.
All right, so we'll ask them. Okay, so any other specified tasks? So I'll ask Judy when I see her.
I'm sorry, since we got there late, I don't know if we talked about, is there a way to notify the people in the staging area so they don't park there the night before? I know we can't block it off because
Yeah,
it's,
we can start putting signage.
okay,
So we're gonna need to get together days before the event. I think we should do a walkthrough. Well, maybe not of the entire route, obviously, because they're streets, but just so we understand how the gaps and all that works. And then really to pass out signs, letting people know, hey, like, these streets are gonna be closed. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, I mean, don't we have just the lighted up billboard signage and stuff?
We have A-frames, we could just do a big A-frame days before and put it on
Where's
the
those
parking
signs they
lot.
put on the street when they say that the street's closed, whatever, they light up?
But he wants to let them know in advance so that people
Inside
start
the
talking.
staging area.
We're talking about the assembly area, instead of
Yeah.
staging area.
We can put an A-frame out.
But there's signs of the town, I know the town has them, I've seen them. I think they belong to the
You're not
town.
sending out any for the grant.
So you know signs I'm talking about, like on a little trailer, they pull it behind a car,
Yeah.
and they light up,
Yeah.
a little generator or whatever, they
Yeah.
light up.
The problem is that in that area, that's not a residential, right? That's
It's
the
commercial.
yeah, so people will leave their cars there and it's not necessarily residents.
it's mostly the people that live across the street from there, they park there.
Yeah.
Why don't we,
The Grams do send out a notice, just so you know, but that doesn't mean everybody reads it.
any way we can get caution
Extra
tape and
signage.
tape it off?
No.
No, because then you would have to do it the night before.
Yeah, we do that at 6 o'clock in the morning, but by then
And
it's
that
already a
is
bunch
too
of
late.
cars.
I mean, can we do it
You want
tonight?
people to exit on Friday or Friday, Saturday, and for them to not even touch the parking lot
How
on
much of a
Saturday.
problem was it
So how
last
about
year?
if we put the caution tape 2 days out?
Well,
before?
we have to ask Andrea if she's okay with us disrupting that parking the day before.
But how much of a problem was it last year? I mean, is
We
it
can-
justify the
Last
effort?
year, we had to move around a bunch of kids so people can get their cars out because they were going to work and then they were all frustrated looking for who to talk to. Because they needed to get to work and then there's a bunch, there's.
So I
mean,
guess the
let's-
question is,
let's ask-
Saturday,
Yes, ask Andrea.
if Saturday they would allow us to close off that parking.
That's right.
Well, hopefully the people last year won't make the same mistake this year.
Well, they
Well,
will.
if they know,
No, they
if
will.
they
They've
know,
been making it every year.
they know we're gonna do
It's always
something,
gonna be-
heard.
So you're gonna take that for action?
So I'm gonna ask Andrea if
Okay.
she would be okay. If she's okay with us closing off.
Caution tape and stuff.
Or get a sign that lights up, they pull it up in a little trailer, parking lot will be closed, lights up, so they can see it the night before.
or we're willing to
Anything
get
else,
this
any other
You have
concerns?
to, you
Jim?
rent those, like Bob's Barricade.
You have
has
any
them, you
other,
rent
anything
those.
else?
thing.
And they light up, so when they pull in the parking lot at night, they can see, hey, this is gonna be closed.
So yeah, that he's saying rent a sign,
Not just a sign, the one, the little trailer that lights up, it's like a little billboard.
like the marquee that we have on.
Exactly.
We can do that, but what do you guys think of
Well,
that?
what I'm trying to say is, does it justify that expense based on the amount of trouble that we had last year getting those cars out? I mean, it's
I don't know
worthwhile,
what the
let's see what it
expense is.
costs.
I just say put cones
I don't know what the expense is.
in the entryway.
Yeah, I mean,
If it costs $500
do you
versus,
wanna, volunteer to look into what a cost for that would be?
I think that's something the town does. They rent barricades and things all
Well,
the
this
time.
is a task, so we need to divide the task among us.
I know, but would be a town employee, I would think. The person that would go ahead when there's road construction and things like that with the town, the same person, same
You mean
vendor.
Public
they
Works?
use.
Public
Public
Works?
Works.
Public, yeah, maybe Public Works.
I can ask them if there's already a contract in. place,
Yeah,
or
ask-
they have
ask the
pricing,
public
but
If
if
there's a
that's-
contract in
yeah.
place or whether there's
Or
cones
if
or
there is-
something else where we can block it off the night
Yeah.
before.
Well, first,
Well,
Or
we're looking
first
at
step is
making
asking
them
if
aware
we're
if we wanna, if we make them aware with the
That's
sign.
the first step. If they say yeah, then I know Public Works gonna have the cones. And we'll get some volunteers to put cones
so
out.
then we can go from there.
Yeah,
And you need to, we can even.
as soon as
kick it off on
Andrea
Saturday.
says we can do it, then we have a plan.
If now we have to figure something else.
Yeah.
We can get
Okay.
1,000 small bottles, 1,050 small bottles for $110.
You're talking water?
That's cheap. 100.
Yeah.
1,000.
Okay,
1,000.
I will ask Andrea.
We'll see if,
$8 for 7.
let's see if Headquarters gives it to us.
75.
So,
Even cheaper.
even cheaper, freeze better.
What's it, lake water? What kind of water are you getting there?
No, we did.
All right,
And
so
now
that,
Water.
that concludes,
Dipped right on.
that concludes,
I guess the last thing I'll say on the parade
yeah,
is I'm gonna prepare a sponsorship package and I'll share it with you guys.
okay.
And we'll invite the old sponsors back.
All right, great. So that concludes discussion on the Veterans Day Parade. We basically got 6 minutes for reindeer run. What you want to bring up?
Here, my notes with you even.
Well, the Legion, I'm already locking up with them. Hopefully, where they changed last year, they used Harbor Place. That's still available. So I left a message for Andrea to let me know if we can still use it.
The what, I'm sorry?
What are we
The
talking about?
Harbor Place for the Star Wars characters to change.
Oh, we're still talking about
I
the parade?
requested it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because it's
requested.
still available. I mean, it's.
All right, all
nobody-
right. Now we're on the reindeer run, so.
Yeah.
Just so you know, she does wanna keep the theme. She does wanna keep the theme for the theme look of the event. It's the brand recognition of, the established event. But we do wanna update the medal. If you guys remember, the medal was kind of like the same thing as the year before. So we wanna update it, but with the same theme.
Well, when it goes to the medal, what we didn't do last year, and we did it the year before, we gave out trophies for
Mhm.
each individual winning, group. And that was costly, and a lot of people didn't stay for the trophy and stuff like that. And so Judy and I talked about, why don't we have some that have like a gold band, silver band, bronze band, and then everybody else's participation is just red.
So like an
So-
elevated medal for the
It's the
winners.
same medal, but it has a different band,
Oh, no, the way she explained it to us was actually the actual medal was like a nicer
a
one
nicer medal.
for the winners.
Well,
And remember, when you mentioned 2 years ago, we kind of made the mistake not knowing where everybody was a winner. It was like insane. Last year was a lot better. We narrowed it down. to like
Yeah,
really
yeah,
the
you
top.
don't know, but that just basically, you just got a bunch of 16 and 18-year-olds who are winners. That's the thing, I did like. I did like that we had every age group,
But
you know?
nobody stuck, nobody stuck around for it. We were like.
I know,
talking to
because no one knew
ourselves.
about it, no one knew about it, you know?
Well, you
I-
didn't know.
I didn't know
So,
about it,
okay,
and I had one.
So this is something we need to talk about in the committee and make a decision on, because I think we have mixed feelings about it.
Okay,
I know from staff end, we don't think that how we did it the first year was good. It was insane, like the amount of people winning.
no, but it was every age group.
So maybe we need to narrow down the groups of the winning, but it still shouldn't be like 6 people per, do you get what I mean? Maybe it really should just be the top of
Was it
that
a 5-year
category.
age group or
It was
10-year?
3 per age group. And-
That year?
But they were like,
It was like an insane amount.
But it was a 5-year, like,
It
you
was a
know,
lot of
20 to 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So a
right.
10-year age groups cuts it in half. A lot of races do that. 30 to 39-year-olds, 40 to 49-year-old, that cuts it in
Yeah.
half.
So my age group, instead of being 70 to 75,
Yeah,
it'll be 70 to
70.
80.
yeah, 70, 79,
Yeah, I
and
know.
80.
Yeah,
If you want, what I can do is I can share how we did it 2 years ago versus how we did it.
and
last
also we
year,
did
and you guys
trophies
decide.
2 years ago, and I think that was expensive for no
So
reason.
they'll be in a group of it.
And I,
Sure, they have it.
but and really what we're talking about, I mean, with Judy, I don't know if she may have changed it, now she's talking about changing the medal entirely. All we were talking about was
Options, just options.
with a low cost, the guys who win first place or the girls who win first place, because there's men and women's, right? They just get the gold ribbon around their regular medal, and then silver, and then bronze, if you're third place or whatever.
So I'll just share the options from the last year and the one in the previous one, so you guys
Sure.
are informed and make a decision.
All right,
And then the other thing, I think the most important thing to stress is, as you guys know, everything goes up every year, and last year, I think she would have liked to have raised more funds. Judy does an amazing job at, getting her contacts involved in the sponsors, but we really need the support of the Veterans Committee members to maybe commit. Every 2 of you bringing in a sponsor or something would make a great difference in terms of funding. If we want to raise as much funds as possible
Alright.
for the organization that's benefited. So, do you guys think that's reasonable?
How much money you want?
Well, I'll have the sponsorship package ready. I already discussed that with her. We're kind of keeping it the same, and the good news is that I already know there's one additional sponsor interested. It's Memorial Healthcare System.
Yeah, 1, 2 already.
Yeah. So just remember, they have to sign the reply form and send it back to staff, and we'll confirm them. But I really want to stress that, because I think we sit here and we say yes, but how many people actually pull through and bring forward sponsors is a different story.
all right,
So,
so bring us a sponsorship agreement, so we'll go and get it.
yeah, we're wrapping up now. They have a meeting at 7.
All right,
Thank you. Sorry, guys.
no worries. All right, that is our meeting.
If you guys have any questions for the next one, just email me. And I do have a next meeting date set for the 5K, so we can go over it thoroughly. I'll send you guys an email.
When was the next meeting scheduled?
Don't worry, up.
That's what I'll send you guys an email.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.